This is ManUP TV. Ahead, we're going old school, talking Vikings when they played in Super Bowls and wrote the right headlines. Stu Voigt is here. Don't criticize until you've tried it. Tony G takes us on his sport shooting adventure. And your mail to get to. Let's do it. Time to man up. Welcome to another episode of Man Up. Tony Grigelko.
Glad to be here as always, my friend.
Mo definitely. Tom Bernard here as well. Today we've got Stu Voigt. We got the Horse and Hunt Club with you.
Sport shooting.
Sport, that's what it is. Sport
shooting.
I like that. Is that when it gives you a heart attack like at the end?
Yeah, you wait to see.
I like it. It works for me. We got Pat from JD Hoyt's. We're right here at JD Hoyt's. The lovely, I just love this place. JD Hoyt's always been one of my favorites. Pat, the owner of JD Hoyt's, will be with us today on Man Up. We got a lot of stuff going on.
It's
we
good
got
stuff.
fantasy football, of course.
Yep.
We got Man Chat.
Yep.
Don't forget that. And by the way, let me ask you a question. You see I'm wearing a St. Paul Police K-9 unit hat. If the police department's all over the state of Minnesota, you can be all over the world, I don't care. But I love wearing hats that support police officers. So if you would send them to 708 North 1st Street, Suite 234, I think it's 55401. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But send me your cop hat and I will wear it on Man Up because I love to support police, firefighters, EMTs, teachers, nurses, doctors, you know.
What I like about it is if you put it down, I don't have to see your whole face.
Here, guess who I am now?
How's the week been going, buddy?
Oh man, it's been very, very stressful. I just, I watched Man Up on Sunday morning.
That'll stress you out.
Thought it was terrific. I thought you looked great.
I always do. I'm next to you. How can I not look good?
Look who's doing bits now on Man Up, huh? Who's a funny guy? Funny how? How am I funny? But in any case, no, it's a lot of work, you know, bouncing around doing radio, the KQ Morning Show. I do the TomBernardShow.com. And thank you, by the way, for all your support. You guys have been supporting the KQ Morning Show and TomBernardShow.com. You've been watching Man Up. I really do appreciate that. It's terrific.
It's awesome.
A lot of people. Must be you. Just my association with you is the key.
Yep, I gravitate people to me. Look at you,
do?
You're here.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. Thank you very much for that. In any case, I just, all the subjects we've covered, I was trying to think back now over the last several weeks. We've covered some great guests. We're going to have great guests coming up. I talked to Jeff Passolt. He wants to come on and talk a little hockey. Still, I believe, has the most penalty minutes in the history of Minnesota college hockey.
Really?
The most penalty minutes in the history of Minnesota college hockey. Your boy, Channel 9's own Jeff Passolt, because he's a goon. I said you're a goon. But in any case, so he'll be on to talk the next couple of weeks about hockey. We got the hockey season coming up. We're right in the middle of the football season. I mean,
football season's going well. The Vikings are looking okay. They're not as cohesive as we thought they were going to be, but they're coming along. Talk to me about this. You know, the proverbial clock is ticking for you. You got the big family event coming up. It's got to be
daughter's wedding.
Be an interesting time of your life.
What's terrific for me is that I'll be out all that money. It'll be great. No, I'm just kidding, honey. I know you watch the show.
We talk about role models and stuff, which is pretty key. And I think Dan's a pretty solid dude, though.
Dan Rasmussen.
You got to be pretty happy about handing your daughter off to a.
I'm not handing her off to anybody.
Wasn't that what you're doing?
I hate that when people say, who gives away this woman? I ain't giving away anybody. My daughter, get married to Dan Rasmussen, who's a great guy. I really like him, but I'm not giving anybody away, and I'm not handing anybody over.
Right.
It's my daughter. Always will be my baby girl. That's just how it is.
You can share it, but just share a little bit with them.
You know, she, of course, would say, well, that's good, Dad. Wait over there. I know that. I know she would do it. But yeah, her wedding's coming right up.
Man, that's a tough. I remember what it was like planning our wedding. It was an interesting time. You got the family, you got the wife. Everybody's...
Oh, I know. It is stressful. There's no question. Alex is all whipped up about this, that, and the other thing. Dan's pretty cool about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's got to take everything in stride. So I think it's going as well as it possibly can. But I have to, as a father. And I'm not kidding about this, by the way. I have to, as a father, man up and not fall apart at their wedding. which is going to be difficult for me because, again,
it's tough, man.
Your little baby girl's getting married all of a sudden. You're like, oh my God.
Maybe tough isn't a word. Special is probably the right word.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I think you're absolutely right about that.
Well, let's get into this show, buddy.
We shall get into the show, ladies and gentlemen. As we said, we got a ton of stuff on today's show. Thanks for joining us here on Man Up. Hey, all of you. In just a few minutes, we dive into our man mailbag. We call it Man Chat, so don't forget, something on your mind, get online, tweet us, whatever it takes, and send it to us. We'll read and answer your own question on this fine TV show. It's Man Chat, and man, we want to hear from you.
Great to have you along. Next, welcome one of our favorite Vikings, the pride of Wisconsin, Stu Voigt. Next on Man Up.
When you think walleye fishing, there's only one place that comes to mind. The walleye capital of the world, Lake of the Woods, Minnesota, and Borderview Lodge. When it comes to the walleye fishing experience, Borderview Lodge is second to none. Their friendly and professional staff is there to provide you with nothing but the best service and accommodations. Take an exclusive full-service guided walleye fishing trip and reel in the big one for a delicious walleye dinner. Visit our website at borderviewlodge.com or give us a call at 1-800-PRO-FISH to start your adventure today.
Okay, Michael, and the average person out there, I'm hurt, I'm scared, I don't know any attorneys. Why do I turn to you?
Well, since you're hurt and you're concerned about how your bills are going to get paid and what you're going to do for wage loss, it's the time you need help. So you want to get a lawyer or a law firm that's done this before, knows what they can do to help you. And that's the difference we make. I talk to people for free. We'll go through what your rights are and you'll know what can be done for you.
You can doubt, and you can hate, but I know no matter what it takes, I'm coming home, tell the world I'm coming home, let the rain
Welcome back to Man Up, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Bernard here with Tony Grigelko, our very special guest, the greatest hands in the history of the NFL, a god of football.
Mr. Tight End.
Mr. Tight End himself. Stu Voigt, ladies and gentlemen. Stu, it wasn't my childhood because I was a young man.
You still are.
Because I love Stu. Watching you play football, you never dropped the football. It was disciplined. It was wonderful. I mean, it didn't matter where that ball came in. Like they said, well, if the quarterback had gotten it here, gotten it there, like they do these days, it was never like that with you. It could have been down here, could have been up here, could have been wherever. You caught the football better than anybody I've ever seen.
Well, thank you, Tom. Well, that came from advice from Jerry Burns. He always used to say he could get guys down at Kmart that could drop the football, which meant you drop too many of them, you'll be in a different line of work. So I tried to catch them all.
You'd be a greeter, too. You'd be a good greeter.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a player named Billy White Shoes Johnson. Back in the day, he would do a little touchdown dance, wore white shoes, and whenever he scored a touchdown and they showed Bud on the sidelines, it was the greatest. This look of disgust that he had on his face was fabulous. He said, what, act like you've been there before.
And you'll be there again, yeah. And in fact, white shoes never put your socks up too high. Bud would make you go back in during warm-ups and get them down. No tape on the socks. Your hair's too long, he'd grab you by the back. And that wouldn't say a word, and that meant haircut time. So,
I mean, that's times
and guys like that kind of discipline, really. I mean, stars and guys just filling up the roster. All
you guys played what?
Discipline.
Three Super Bowls?
I played in 3. They played in 4. The year after I got there. They played the 1969 Super Bowl also.
So the key is discipline. The key word that you just said is discipline.
Yeah, and I think Bud had a patient, common sense approach, not too high with the victories or letting things go to his head, but not too low. Would get beat, although he had a lot of 12 and 2 years. Those losses, you take them in stride. You short-term memory, go on to the next game. And
you know what amazes me is that we have a society now where there are no consequences for anything. It's never your fault. You're special. You take that in our society and blow it up in the NFL. I mean, in the NFL, it's really big. There's no responsibility for anything, no consequences. I'm the best. I'm special. I'm wonderful. It's it's got to be upsetting for a guy that just wants to play football.
Well, I think it is. That's not just with the players. I think
Right.
management, coaches. I mean, it's the entertainment business, and of course, media coverage, unlike in the past, is 24/7, 365
Yep.
a year. So guys are in the fishbowl, and they're handled by management, and there's I think a lot of conflicting incentives for players nowadays. They I think would rather be on Dancing with the Stars than
Oh, yeah.
win a Super Bowl. And
Right.
in fact, most players nowadays, I'll bet 90% in the Super Bowl take a pay cut. I mean, that's how things have changed. In the old days, you wanted to win playoff games to get to the Super Bowl because that meant
More
another
money.
25% of your salary. I mean,
Right.
which there's a little jealousy of today's salaries. I think Chris Cluey's salary a year ago would have paid the whole '69 Super Bowl team with six Hall of Famers in it. Yeah, so things have really changed. Either that or I'm really old.
You mentioned earlier you didn't lose many games. I still, to this day, and I can't tell you what year it was, but you guys lost to Cincinnati 27-0, and I never got over it, and I'm still not over it.
At Cincinnati, yeah.
And when was that? How many years ago was
Oh,
that?
I think that was one of our Super Bowl years, actually.
was.
And we laid an egg. And to Bud's credit, I mean, we just didn't show up to play, and it's a collective thing. It wasn't just the offense, defense, special teams. And they had actually a pretty good team, and we weren't used to it. And the next week, short-term memory, you go on about your business, whether you play the Packers or the Bears or the Lions. I'm sure we won the game, but
Right.
that was a lesson. Those losses, you realize, in the business in the 70s, winning was a lot better than losing. And if you lose too many times, you get the old road map and the apple, and you're in a different line of work.
I'll say it again. I said it before, and I will say it again. The best hands I have ever seen catching a football. You were the best of all time, and I'm still angry about the 27-0 loss at Cincinnati in the Super Bowl year.
Tom Bernard for president.
Yes, thank you. Well, in any case, Stu Voigt, all-time great
Thanks, guys.
Viking NFL player, the whole shoot match. We'll be right back with more of ManUP. There's more to come from J.D. Hoyts. Next, meet the man who makes this supper club tick. Ahead on ManUP.
Latte or Olay, cozy or cool, exactly the way you want it. Until boom, it's bedtime. Your mattress is a battleground of thwarted desire. Enter the Sleep Number bed, designed to let couples sleep together in individualized comfort. He's the softie. His Sleep Number setting is 35. You're the rock at 60. And snoring? Sleep Number's even got an adjustment for that. You can only find Sleep Number at a Sleep Number store. Right now, save $400 on our most popular mattress. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
The Aspire Beverages story is simple. We're just a couple of dads and coaches that got sick of watching people drink neon-colored junk in the name of sports.
So we created something better. Aspire all-natural sports drinks have all the good stuff. None of the artificial junk. Packed with electrolytes, vitamins and minerals, and pure awesomeness.
It's time to stop consuming empty calories in those old neon-colored sports drinks. Make the clear choice. Aspire natural sports drinks.
It starts your morning with the forecast, then watches your energy use all day. It can change your temperature from anywhere in the world, prevent you from heating and cooling an empty house, and still give you a comfortable welcome home. The iComfort Wi-Fi from Lennox.
The most advanced comfort control solution available anywhere is now available for your home.
So call Liberty Comfort Systems and make your home a smart home today.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Welcome back to ManUP, ladies and gentlemen, and now our very special guest, Mr. Restaurant, as he's known in the Twin Cities.
Oh boy.
Every time I look at you, Pat, I think of my past, and some of it's great, and other parts I can't recall.
Me too.
In this wonderful restaurant, we're at J.D. Hoyt's, 3rd and Washington, downtown Minneapolis. I look around this room, and I mean, at literally every table, I see Mikey Andrews, Paul Majors, Richard D'Amico. I mean, you go down the list. I met Glenn Mason in the private room back there. I mean, I look around this restaurant, and every place around here, I see wonderful times I've had over there. How long have you been open now?
We've been here 30 years now. I got hired a week before we opened up to cut carrots. I've been here 30 years.
Honestly, I think I started the KQ Morning Show like 1 year later.
Right.
So you've been here, I've been here. The food is fantastic. My wife called me this afternoon and said, hey, you shooting at J.D. Hoyt's this afternoon? I said, yes, dear, we are. She goes, I will be getting a couple of pork chops and some hash browns, will I not? I said, of course, dear. Most definitely.
This is probably the best place. You know, Tom said originally, this is the place we want to be at.
Well, it's kind of a man's place.
It is.
The ManUP show is kind of it's a ManUP joint.
Yeah, you got to have a man joint.
This is it at J.D. Hoyt's, man.
You know, a few other memories in here. I mean, as I look around again, wonderful, wonderful feeling in the place. But I do remember some nights calling a cab to get home.
Well, that's been known. Our bartenders pour a decent drink here at the Hoyt. You know, I mean, it's pretty good.
The Hoyt. I like that. We'll call it the Hoyt. We're shooting at the Hoyt, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Pat, honest to God, the crowd that we're talking about, all the guys of John White, and I mean, there's so many guys to talk about, and people know who they are. If they're from Minneapolis, you know J.D. Hoyt's, you know the Loon, you know, I mean, you can go down the list of Old Pickle Parrot.
Yeah, it started years ago at Ichabod's with Mike and John, and then they went to Sergeant Preston's, franchised a couple of those, opened up the Loon, then they came to J.D. Hoyt's, then they went to St. Paul, they did Dixie's and Saji in St. Paul, they did Dixie's Minneapolis. Johnny had, I think, one of the best restaurants in town was the Pickle Parrot.
Oh, there's
I mean,
no
it was
doubt
tremendous.
about it.
And then Mike got into Liquor Lyle's. He's on the board of directors with Devani's. I mean, Mikey's, you know, he's a restaurant guy. He's it.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's great to see you as always, and thanks so much again. It's like coming home to do a TV show.
No, thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Pat.
It's great to be part of it. I'll tell you that. It's really, really, really good.
Yeah, we truly appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
J.D. Hoyt's, 3rd and Washington, the North Loop in Minneapolis. If you've never been here, you got to get here, man. It's unbelievable.
Come on down.
Hey, Tom Bernard here. Don't forget to find the greatest entertainment stop of all time. It's the Tom Bernard Podcast, TomBernardShow.com. Do it, the man says.
Up next on Man Up, we're at the Prior Lake Horse and Hunt Club shooting guns.
When you think walleye fishing, there's only one place that comes to mind. The walleye capital of the world, Lake of the Woods, Minnesota, and Borderview Lodge. When it comes to the walleye fishing experience, Borderview Lodge is second to none. Their friendly and professional staff is there to provide you with nothing but the best service and accommodations. Take an exclusive full-service guided walleye fishing trip and reel in the big one for a delicious walleye dinner. Visit our website at borderviewlodge.com or give us a call at 1-800-PRO-FISH to start your adventure today.
Let's hear it for Bud Light, the perfect beer for when you take over a town, make me the mayor, call it whatever USA. Then pack it to the brim with so much spontaneous, never thought I'd be doing this awesomeness that it's hard to believe we actually pulled it off, right? Body bowling, roller disco, Bud Light, tiny cars, tiny horses, big celebrities, Bud Light, dancing, karaoke, Bud Light, whatever that is. This guy, this girl, oh my, wow, look at that. Bud Light and Bud Light, then put it on the internet for everyone to see. And whatever else happened.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Find out more at upforwhatever.com.
My dream is to become a mechanical engineer.
My dream is to be a ballerina.
My dream is to be a veterinarian.
I want to be a chef,
truck driver,
a teacher,
a shoe designer,
professional skateboarder.
But right now,
I'm just a kid.
Just a kid.
I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid ready to be adopted.
Ready to be adopted.
I'm just a kid ready to be adopted. For the facts about adopting a child from foster care, contact the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
Welcome back to Man Up, ladies and gentlemen. It is highbrow time. It's adventure time with Tony G. Where'd you go this week, man?
Well, we're always looking for something new. This week we made it down to the Horse and Hunt Club down in Prior Lake.
Beautiful.
Super fun, super fun. I was lucky enough to bring my father down there with us, and it was great. It was good. Check it out.
Shooting is the business that we've been in for a long time, and that's clay target shooting. We have the largest sporting clays course in the United States, actually 5 different courses. We're also in trap and skeet. We've got 2 rifle ranges and a pistol range. But one of the things that most people just love to do out here is hunt.
The hunts are phenomenal. It's a good thing for people to come out and watch. You see dogs, they find the birds, you shoot the bird, they bring it back, drop it in your hand, and all of it has to be perfect.
It's definitely a respite for us city boys. We get to get away from the city life and come and enjoy the wildlife a little bit.
A historic piece of Prior Lake is now gone.
A fire broke out inside the Minnesota Horse and Hunt Club just before dawn. When fire crews arrived, they could see smoke coming from the restaurant.
It literally burned to the ground. The sprinkler system had frozen, and we were dealing with a real mess. The fire trucks showed up, and they basically had to stand around and watch as over 28 years of memories burned to the ground. Along with, in my case, I lost 86 mounts and a lot of great memories. But no people were hurt, no animals were injured, and everybody came out of it, and now we have a new facility.
My dad's kind of an avid gun collector, and he had some real interesting firearms to shoot, some shotguns and pistols and a 50 caliber rifle and some other unique things to shoot, so it should be a real fun day.
Holy woo! That is loud.
You got it.
What do you think of that, Tom? Could you do better?
A little high.
Woo! Man up!
That scare you at all, man?
Oh my God, the 50 caliber is crazy.
Well, I mean, that bullet.
That long,
shell's
it was
about-
like that long.
I know, it's unbelievable. And
Yeah.
about that big around.
It's monstrous.
I guess
It's
we should
monstrous.
do it this way. Does that look obscene?
They say that there's a confirmed kill, is it 1.5 miles or 2 miles long with a sniper rifle. It's just
loud.
ridiculous.
Loud enough.
Loud. It stops your heart. It feels like it's amazing. I think
proud of you.
we started out. Thank you. We started out shooting the. I think it was a 300 mag and a 308, and finished with the what is it 50 caliber, which is like it's like a tank compared to the rest of the guns. It was just amazing.
No question.
That was
about
cool.
it.
I mean, sport shooting is a pretty neat thing. You know, it's kind of it was a family orientated situation. There was a family next to us that had, I mean, they must have had 3 or 4 girls with them shooting. They had a blast. I was lucky enough to bring my dad down. I grew up hunting, been around hunting all my life. So, so for my dad and I to get out and shoot guns and stuff, that was it was fun. It was kind of like getting back to my childhood, and so it was pretty special. It was a great time. Yeah.
I mean, it is. That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
I wish we would have been able to get you out there. I wanted to see.
You know, I never went hunting with my dad. My dad wasn't around when I was a kid, but I don't know what it was. I grew up around a lot of guns.
Wrong part of the city.
North Minneapolis, but you know, it's a different story. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Little Tony, little Tom, a lot of man chat next on Man Up. There's still more on Man Up, our favorite segment where we go one-on-one with you. Man chat is next.
Latte or Olay, cozy or cool, exactly the way you want it. Until boom, it's bedtime. Your mattress is a battleground of thwarted desire. Enter the Sleep Number bed, designed to let couples sleep together in individualized comfort. He's the softie. His Sleep Number setting is 35. You're the rock at 60. And snoring? Sleep Number's even got an adjustment for that. You can only find Sleep Number at a Sleep Number store. Right now, save $400 on our most popular mattress. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Okay, Michael, and the average person out there, I'm hurt, I'm scared, I don't know any attorneys. Why do I turn to you?
Well, since you're hurt and you're concerned about how your bills are going to get paid and what you're going to do for wage loss, it's the time you need help. So you want to get a lawyer or a law firm that's done this before, knows what they can do to help you. And that's the difference we make. I talk to people for free. We'll go through what your rights are and you'll know what can be done for you.
Fantasy football is now in focus. Here's Randy Warner with the Man Up Fantasy Blitz.
Great to have you back again on Fantasy Blitz Weekly. We got some great games in store again this weekend. Let's get right into it. I got 2 sleepers for you here this week. Number 1, T.Y. Hilton, wide receiver for the Colts. Hilton has 38 targets through 4 games this year. The big issue with Hilton has been he hasn't scored yet. Look for that to change against a poor Ravens secondary. I expect Hilton to surpass 100 yards and record his first touchdown of the year. Number 2, Golden Tate, wide receiver for the Lions. With Kelvin Johnson not at 100%, Tate has to shoulder a heavier load in the passing game. Last week, he had 8 catches on 10 targets for 116 yards. You can expect a similar stat line, plus a possible touchdown this week versus the Bills. Tune in next week for more fantasy football chat, or you can follow me at FantasyBlitz82.
The ManUP Fantasy Blitz is brought to you by uncloggeddrains.com. That's our name. It's what we do.
Pick up the latest issue of Wheels of Thunder magazine. If it's on wheels, you'll find it in Wheels of Thunder. Full color photos of bikes, trikes, cars, trucks, and even sleds. High performance or right off the street. Mind-blowing power, speed, and custom touches. It's all in Wheels of Thunder magazine. Plus, find out about the latest races, rallies, and custom products and services in your area. Check out Wheels of Thunder on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Wheels of Thunder.
Welcome back to the Hoyt, as Pat says. J.D. Hoyt's, 3rd and Washington, North Minneapolis, beautiful part of town. Tony, it's time, man.
My favorite time.
Man chat.
Here we go.
We're facing your questions head on. You got it? All right, Tony, this one's for you. Janice and Osseo asks, I'm a big boxing fan. Are there a lot of young boxers in Minnesota who can contend for world titles?
The first guy that comes to my mind is Jason Litzow. Jason Litzow fought for a couple world titles. He's looking to make a comeback. He'll probably find himself in the chance to fight for another world title. But the number one guy that comes to mind is Golden Caleb Truex out of the University of Minnesota. This kid absolutely will fight for a world title and absolutely will win a world title. Tom, this one's for you from Ben in Plymouth. I love listening to you and have been a big fan of yours for years. What's your favorite band and what type of music do you like to listen to?
Ben, I don't talk to people in Plymouth. I want you to... No, that's not true. Ben's a great question, actually. And our dog's name is Jude, J-U-D-E. My daughter's favorite band is my favorite band, the Beatles. No one, to me, will ever beat the Beatles. I love the Beatles, always will, always have. I did that in reverse order for a reason. Because my daughter's 25 years old and she is a bigger Beatle fan than I am. It's music that will live forever. Nothing for me will ever top the Beatles. Thanks for joining us this week. Another great show. Stu Voigt, thank you very much. Horse and Hunt Club. Looked like you had a great time.
Oh my God, I'm still, like I said, I'm still recovering from the concussion of that gun.
That's because you are, no, I can't say that. I can't say that. But in any case, thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody participating. Stewie, we love you, man. Pat, J.D. Hoyt's the best.
Absolutely the best.
Wonderful show. Thanks for being with us today on ManUP.